where they are on the field at all times.
I mean, in any game you kind of have to be aware of where the corners are, but no, they definitely have talented players, and we're definitely aware that they're a good football team, and they've been playing pretty well this season. So just like any other week, we're preparing, watching film each and every day, and trying to find the tendencies that they have.
Hey man, talk about Kyle Carter. Talk about he's been a very reliable target for you. Talk about what he's meant to have him step up in this offense for you.
Yeah, I mean, in an offense where tight ends play a major role in how we perform on the field, he's really stepped up and kind of been that go-to guy. And so the tight end position, he's got one of the best set hands on the team. He's a very instinctive football player. He just has a knack for getting open, and as young as a guy he is, you can trust him and know he's going to do his job well.
How do you view a team like Purdue that gives Notre Dame a tough game, gives Ohio State a really tough game, but yet they're 0-4 in the league, just lost him? How do you view a team when you don't necessarily know what to expect from them week to week?
Well, I mean, you have to prepare. I mean, you have to prepare as hard as you can each and every week. You have to have the mindset going into the game that we know it's going to be a tough game, but you have to have the mindset that they're going to do things that you're not going to expect to see, or that they're going to come on. I mean, we know it's a tough environment going out there, and we're going to have to be ready to play. And like you said, they've played some teams very well this season. They can easily have a few more wins than they have. So we know they're a dangerous team, and we have to continue to move forward and focus all our attention to them and be ready to match their intensity on Saturday.
Matt, as the quarterback, when you see a pass rush, maybe as much as it was against Ohio State, what can you do to try to kind of overcome that? What could you guys maybe have done against Ohio State or do against Purdue?
Nothing. I mean, as a quarterback, it's not your job to worry about whether or not the defender's closing in on you, or who's blocking this guy or who's blocking that guy. I mean, it is my decision to know what protection it is and know where my hots are. But I mean, in terms of pass rushing or guys getting heat on you, you have to have trust in your linemen and understand that they have a job to do, and you have to believe that they're going to get it done. And I definitely believe that my linemen are capable of blocking anybody they face, and for the most part they did a great job against Ohio State Saturday. And but there's always things we need to work on, so we need to keep improving and keep communicating with one another. And I think we should have some time to throw the ball on Saturday.
Hey man, if Kyle Carter can't go or he's limited, which other tight end do you think is most geared towards stepping into that F tight end position, and what threats to each of the other three, Jesse, Matt Lehman, and Gary Gilliam, pose in the passing game?
Well, they all have their strengths. I mean, Matt's got a great set of hands, Gary's a great blocker, and Jesse can do a little bit of both. So, it's only Wednesday, so hopefully Kyle will be able to get healthy for Saturday. But if he can't go, I have no doubt that one of those guys will be able to step up and fill that position. And being a tight end here, you need to know the Y and the F. You need to know each of the routes. You need to know the blocking assignments for both. So they're definitely prepared for it. And if called upon, I have no doubt that they'll be able to step up and get it done.
Matt, you touched on this, and John Herschel mentioned it in his call today, that there needs to be improved communication between the QB and the line, and among the linemen themselves. How do you work on that in practice?
Well, we practice with a lot of music, a lot of noise, constant communication with one another, just constantly talking with one another. I mean, this is probably the only place in the country where at home you're going to need to use a silent cadence. I mean, that doesn't happen too often. So that was kind of, we really weren't expecting that because we haven't done that in the past. But in terms of just what you said, we just want to communicate better with each other, and that's how we practice, with music playing very loud, so we can all just focus in on what the call is and what our protection is, and then not try to worry about what's going on with the noises outside.
Matt, on your left, you touched on their corners a little bit, but I'm just curious in film if you've seen anything of Fichter, their safety. He's had 4 or 5 picks at least for them so far.
Is that 44? Or 44, is that him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's got a lot of range, and we're definitely aware of that. And he makes some good football plays for him. He's a good safety to have back there. So, Our game plan is not going to change because of it, but we're just definitely have to be very aware of where he is at all times, and like I said, take our shots when necessary.
Matt, how's the storm impacting preparations this week? And if you heard from anybody in Scranton, what's the situation like up there?
I don't really ask too much about the weather back there, but no, in terms of they're fine. Yeah, they're fine. Don't worry about it. But we haven't been able to practice outside, which is tough because Purdue is probably going to be cold out there, probably going to be rainy. It seems like kind of one of those environments. So, but we haven't been able to get that feeling of being outside. Hopefully, maybe we'll get outside for a little today, but we've been practicing indoors at a loop, which is tough. Anytime you practice inside, it's not that great because you're not getting comfortable with the atmosphere. So, but it is what it is, and we can't control that, and we'll just have to adjust to it on Saturday if we don't get out there for the rest of the week.
Here in the front. With Fitz's new strength and conditioning program, how would you assess your fitness at this point this year compared to last year?
I think where it really comes into handy for us is during our NASCAR mode. We're able to continue to play fast and stay in good rhythm and continue to keep pushing when sometimes defenses wear out. So, I think that at that point we're running and doing drills and stuff like that throughout the summer and camp, and even during practice weeks we run a lot. So that's really where it comes up most.
How hard is it at first over the summer to get used to that new free weight program?
It was tough at first. Early in the spring and around February, it was tough to get used to because the past 4 years we've done a completely different style of lifting. But around the summer you start. The summer really is where you saw some pretty good results start to come into play. And you can see guys getting quicker and stronger and faster. And all throughout camp, you're seeing guys do things that they haven't been able to do in the past. So it was really good to see. And now that we've gotten used to it, we're able to continue to build on it even in season.
Matt, with 4 games left, have you thought about that at all, and have you talked to the other seniors about that?
Yeah, definitely. We're definitely aware that we only have 4 more opportunities to take the field here at Penn State. There's no December for us, so I think November 24th is our last day as a Penn State football player. So, we're definitely aware of it, but at the same time, we're trying to stay focused on Purdue and prepare as if Purdue is our last game. And that's the mindset we have, and it's the mindset we'll have for the rest of the season.
We didn't see the NASCAR as much on Saturday. Is there any explanation for that? Was there something that Ohio State was doing? Was it the communication and the crowd noise and everything?
I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I guess it just wasn't a big part of our game plan. In Saturday's game, they were very well prepared for us. They were, as expected, we knew they were going to be prepared, and they were full of some good athletes on that team. But we can't focus too much on Ohio State in the games in the past, and then, like I said, we have 4 left to keep pushing on here and start to Purdue.
Matt, it looked like Saturday night Kyle Carter failed to come up with a play or two, and then it looked like you went right back to him on a couple plays after. Is that something you kind of make a point to do after the receiver doesn't make a catch, or was he just happened to be open?
He was open, so I don't really care whether a guy catches it or drops it or runs the wrong route. It's not my job to not go back to him or not throwing the football. If it's part of the read and he's going to be open, I don't care if he's dropped 10 balls before or caught 10 balls. I'm going to throw him the football if he gets open and does his job. And that's the way I approach the game. That's the way I play the game. It's not my job to catch it or make plays. It's just my job to throw it to the guy that's open.
Could you talk about what you've seen out of Stephen Bench?
Steve's really coming along. As a young guy, he's definitely going to make those mistakes, but he's taking notes each and every day. He's learning as much as he can from Coach Fisher, Coach O'Brien, and I've tried to do my best to keep him focused and to let him know that I've been there through the ups and downs, and he's definitely going to go across them after the season and into the spring and camp. So anything I can do for him, I've been trying to do, and he knows that anything he needs, he can ask me, and I'll give him an honest answer.
Also, you've obviously been through a lot here. How has your course of major helped you understand the media and working with the media and developing a thick skin? Has it helped, or?
Oh, definitely. I know, you guys pretend to be friends with me and everything like that. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm definitely aware of how it works, and you know, what, I mean, at the end of the day, I understand that, you know, you guys have a job to do, and you guys need to write what you see and what you feel, and I feel as it's part of my job to help you guys write those stories and give you guys what you need, and I mean, I feel as if I've always done that in the past. I've always given you guys some honest answers, and I've always told you guys the truth, so, I mean, you know, being in that, having that degree and dealing with you guys on a weekly basis, I mean, I definitely understand.
Hey, Matt, this week coming up, you know, you guys have gotten off to fast starts just about every game, except with the exception of last week, and with them being 3-5. Talk about the importance of getting off to another fast start against Purdue this week.
Well, I mean, it'll be at Purdue, and anytime you're playing on the road in the Big Ten, it's tough. I've never played there, but I mean, it's going to be a tough environment. So getting out to an early lead, they're probably going to be all jacked up for the game. So like we did at Iowa, hopefully we'll be able to get out to an early lead, and hopefully take the fans out there and take a little bit out of them early on in the first quarter, and hopefully we'll be able to continue to push and put up some big numbers Saturday.
Maybe two more.
Matt, Allen Robinson said this morning he's been working on his deep routes. What are the keys to hooking up all those passes that are 30 to 40 yards between quarterback and receiver?
I mean, one key thing is getting the ball out on time. I mean, the longer you hold the ball, the less air gets put on. I mean, you take your nice drop, be on rhythm, you know, trust that he's open, see that he's open, you know, put a nice ball, put some air on under it, let him run under it. It's pretty much all about timing and landmarks, and you know, you probably want to throw a deep ball just if your typical streak route at about 40, 45 yards, and then like I said, the longer you hold on to it, you know, the less air that you put under it, you tend to force it and throw it harder, and it comes more like that, and more chance it gets you getting picked off.
Hey man, with everything that's happened here over the last year and whatnot, a lot of the stories about Penn State center around how, you know, the team can come back from everything that's happened. But do you think that with what you guys have shown on the field this year, you know, being a 5-3 football team, people on the outside look at Penn State, they think about this football team first as opposed to all that other stuff?
You think, what you're saying is you think that...
Like, they don't think about, you know, Sandusky or...
I mean, obviously, I think that, you know, the feeling that... I know the feeling that we have is, you know, this is our football team. They think of the football team first. You know, everything that's happened in the past is kind of trying to get pushed out of the way, and that's what we're just trying to do. Is we're just trying to play our football game and do the best that we could to keep this program where it should be, and let it continue to rise and get back to the top. And for us seniors, you know, we have, like you guys were talking about earlier, we understand we only have 4 games left, and we're trying to leave this place on a high note and keep it where it belongs. And you know, we know the support will be there week in and week out, and that's all we could ask for.
Okay, thanks, Matt.